Welcome. This is a short tutorial on creating a cash flow projection using Microsoft Excel. So when you open Microsoft Excel, it's likely to look something like this. Excel is simply a large table that you can adjust as you go throughout. When you have a business cash flow, the first thing you always want to do is type the business's name, and underneath that type cash flow projection. Those are your titles, and I'll show you how to format those in a minute. In the actual table, you want to include a column, which is a vertical section for each month. So in our example, our business is starting in September, so our first month is September, and on from there, October, November, December. Okay, cash flows can range from varying amounts, but often the largest you'll see is a 12-month projection. Okay. In the left-hand column here, this is where your titles are going to go. You're always going to start with cash in. Okay. Leave a few spaces for the items that you're going to have, and then you want to put a cash in total, where you're going to add up all the different cash in items that this is a title for. Underneath that, you're going to put your cash out. And again, you're going to leave a number of spaces and put your cash out total. Okay. The final section is going to be what we call our cash flow. Okay, and in here you are going to have two rows, and rows are these horizontal sections. The first is going to be monthly total, and the last one is cumulative. Okay, and we'll talk about what that means in a moment. Okay, we can start with a little bit of formatting. Your cash in is one of your titles, and so you're going to go up here to the font section. To format it, I make it bold to make it look different. Cash out is also a title, so you'll want to do it the same, and cash flow is a title, so you'll want to do that the same as well. Next, you're going to want to make your columns wide enough to fit all the information that's been put in. So if you go up between the columns, you'll see that your cursor changes from a downward arrow to this cross with the horizontal arrows. If you double click when it's like that, it will automatically make the column wide enough to fit the information that's in it. For your month columns, you'll want them all to be the same width, so you want to click on the letter heading at the top, and you want to highlight all of those rows that you do have. You can then, again, on any of the connections, find that cross arrow and make them a similar width. With these titles, you can, if you choose, bold them, but I would definitely suggest centering them. So here's your alignment of where your text is within one of these boxes that we call cells, and I'm going to suggest centering it there. The final thing you want to do, well, not final, but for this formatting at this point, is you want to select the whole table that you have created thus far, and you want to put the lines in between it. It's very hard to read a table without the lines, and so we're going to go up to this section here, and if you hover over something, it's going to tell you. If you click the arrow of it, it's going to give you all the border options, and we're going to select all borders. So now that we have our basic format, we can do a little bit more editing. Our titles are not going to have numbers along each section, so we actually want to take all of these cells and make them one cell, and there's a button up at the top under alignment called Merge and Center. If you click this button, you're going to see it makes all the cells one by merging them, and it's going to center them. We don't actually want it centered, so we're going to go back up to alignment and put it to the left-hand side. We're going to do the same thing for this title here, merge and center, but then left align, as well as cash flow. Before we start adding all of our information, I would suggest also doing your merge and centers on your titles. You always want the titles of your documents to be above the table and to be centered, and so we can do that as well. The next thing you want to do is get your total section set up, even before you start adding information in. In Excel, one of the main reasons we use it is that it can do the calculations for you. So as you add information or change information, it can do that for you. So you're going to do your totals with a sum feature. So you're going to hit equals, type sum, and if you select it here, double click, then you're just going to simply select the cells that you want to add up. And you can hit enter. And this is now going to, so if I put a 5 in this cell, it's going to add it there. Okay? If you want to use the same formula all the way across, you're simply going to grab the bottom tab like this and drag it across. Okay? We're going to do the same for our cash out, so we can go sum. Okay, find it here, double click, and then again select all those cells above for that month, hit enter, select it, bottom corner, drag it across. Okay, so you now have all of your cash ins being added together, all of your cash outs being added together. At the bottom, your monthly total is simply going to be all the money in minus all the money out. So you're going to hit the equal sign, you're going to select the total in minus, select the total out, hit enter. Okay, again, we're going to grab that bottom corner and drag it across. Okay, finally, your cumulative is all the money that you currently have. So in the first month, this is simply going to equal the monthly total. Okay, in the second month, we're going to hit equal. We're going to start with the total amount of money we had at the end of the first month, and we're going to add to it the monthly total from that current month. Taking what was in the bank, adding to it any positives and negatives, and resulting in our cumulative total. Once we have that second one, we can use it to drag it across. Okay. I also like to make my cumulative row bolded, so you can do that now with your format. Once you've done this, you have created a format for a cash flow projection, and at this point you can start putting your information in. So at the top, you're often going to include estimated sales. Okay, and you can start typing values in. Let's say I had $1,000 in the first month, and you'll see just by putting that in, all of these totals start calculating automatically. Okay. You will notice, however, that this number here and all of these are in a simple number format. In accounting, we want to use a currency format, so I'm going to select all of the cells. And I'm going to go up to this number setting here where there's this number sign, and it shows that it's an accounting number format. When I click that, it's going to automatically add number signs, commas, and 2 decimal places to all of my numbers, making it in the proper format for an accounting document. From here, we can continue to add sales. Let's say we get 2,000 in the next month, 3,000 in the one after that, 4,000. Okay, and you'll see that things are being automatically updated. Okay, let's say I got a loan and I received $20,000 from the bank in the first month. I can add that in as well, even if it isn't something that continues on to the months after that. Okay. If I haven't left enough rows, I simply want to come up to one of the rows in the area that I want. I'm going to right click on the row header, and I'm going to put insert, and another row will be added, and you can see from here that it's automatically been included in this total. So now when I put in my investment money that I personally put into the business, my $5,000 in the first month, it's automatically going to be included into the total. Okay. You can then continue filling things in. Let's say you had some rent. Okay, if that was $1,000 a month, okay, you can include that. Okay, and you can see that the numbers are automatically being calculated. You had 26,000 in, 1,000 out. That's obviously 25,000 in your bank. The next month you made $1,000, so your new total is 2,600. So the document itself is updating for you, and so now you know that all of your totals are going to be accurate. And as you add the information, you might see that some of your monthly totals, especially in the beginning, are negatives. However, as long as your cumulative stays positive, you know you have enough money to cover your expenses.